Good morning. It's cold and it's wet and it was really stormy last night, so yeah, it's just not very nice out today. But Frank and I are just in the back garden and I'm trying to get him to do all of his dog business, because Elaine and I are actually heading off to IKEA this morning because we need to try and get a new blind, because the blind in the kitchen is broken and the blind in our spare bedroom is kind of broken and doesn't really work properly. So we're going to go to IKEA now and have a look and see what they have. But Elaine was just looking online this morning and she thinks that the two blinds we have, they may not have them anymore. We might need to get slightly different blinds, which might mean having to drill new holes and all that kind of crack. So I'm hoping that that's not what we have to do. But look, if it is, it's not the end of the world. Frank is just wandering around, sniffing around the garden now. So hopefully we won't be out here too long because it's very cold. So just show you guys what I'm talking about with the blind. The blind in the kitchen is basically like this at the moment. So we have it down, but in order for it to actually stay down, we have I think that's like a hair tie or like an elastic band that Elaine found, and we have it wrapped around these weights. And without those weights there, the blind wouldn't stay down at all. So the catch in this one is completely broken. So this one has to be replaced because these blinds, they can't be fixed. And there's no kind of pulley system like there is on the blind in the sitting room. And then the blind upstairs is kind of similar. So when you pull it down, generally it doesn't catch, and it takes oftentimes it takes like 5 or 6 goes before it'll actually lock in the down position. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to look at replacing both of those blinds, and yeah, hopefully we can get what we need up in IKEA. We're heading early as well, like it's just 25 to 10 now. IKEA opens at 10, so at this hour of the day it won't take us too long to get out there because hopefully traffic will be light, and when we get there hopefully it won't be busy in IKEA, because IKEA is an awful place when it's busy. So we've just arrived at IKEA and it doesn't open for about another 5 minutes, but it's not too full now. But we're just sitting here in the car and there's just a stream of cars coming in, so yeah, it's gonna start getting busy pretty soon. I think other people have had the same idea as us to get up here early because it just gets so busy so fast. So we got everything that we were looking for in IKEA except for the blinds, because they just don't have blinds like the ones that we have at all. So we actually think we might just look at getting blinds fitted in the new year. We'll see how we go. But now we're just going to leave all the stuff that we did get back to the car, and then we're going to go and get some lunch because I'm really, really hungry. Lane isn't so much, but I'm just starving, so we're going to get food now. We're home from IKEA now, and we had a slight change of plan. When we got up to the food court in IKEA, they were still doing breakfasts, and like Elaine and I, we were looking at the vegetarian breakfast and it didn't look that great. So we decided not to go there, and Elaine did some Googling for kind of lunch and brunch places and that kind of thing. We ended up going to a place called the Gourmet Food Parlour, and it was in Santry, and it was delicious. So I had this, I think it was called a woodcutter breakfast. So it's basically scrambled egg, like a hash brown, kind of like a spinach and tomato salad, and then they had 3 slices of this sourdough toast, and the sourdough toast was amazing. It was really, really tasty. So I'm very happy in my belly now, and we're back home and we're just kind of doing a bit of tidying up and busy work, just kind of get like a shape back on the house for next week before we go back to work. The weather today has just been awful, so Elaine and I have basically just been in the house for the entire afternoon. We've just kind of been hanging out with Frank and just chilling and taking it easy. But there's one thing that we did do. When we were in IKEA this morning, we got new picture frames for the 3 pictures that we have in here in the sitting room, because Elaine didn't like the white frames that we had on the pictures. Now, I didn't really care one way or the other. I thought they were fine, but Elaine just really didn't like them. So we got these new black frames, and these are the pictures in the new frames, and we've hung them on the wall. Now, when we got these, like, this is something that Elaine has really wanted to do for a while, and I kind of went along with it because, like, frankly, I just didn't really care. I figured that the black frames would look as good as the white frames, and it wasn't a big deal for me. But what I would say is, with the new black frames on these pictures, they look so good. Like, I didn't think they'd look that much different to the white frames, if I'm being honest, but I was completely wrong. Like, they look great. Like, when you see them in the room with the black on the fireplace and the black TV, like, I just think, like, the 3 pictures really stand out so much more than they did before with just the white frames. And I think they just look so much better than they did with the white frames. And I'm really, really surprised as to how much of a difference these black frames make, and how much better and how much nicer I think they make the room. Anyway, we're just kind of getting ready for dinner now, and yeah, I'm kind of getting hungry, so I'm looking forward to that being ready. For dinner tonight, Elaine made a lentil bolognese, and it was lovely. And I'm getting ready just to do my meal prep now for the rest of the week. So for my dinners this week in work, I'm having a tofu Thai red curry. And for my lunches, I'm making a black bean burrito. So there's something that I just want to talk about for a second, and this isn't something that I've really addressed in the vlog at all. I think I may have said a while back that Elaine and I are trying to reduce the amount of meat that we eat. And initially when we started doing that, we just decided that we wanted to cut down on the amount of beef that we were eating, and then we very quickly eliminated beef completely from our diet. But we've kind of gone vegetarian. Now, we're not gone fully vegetarian. We will still eat fish during the week, but just the food that we're cooking for ourselves is primarily vegetarian, and has been for a couple of weeks now. And while I had kind of cut out most beef and chicken from my diet for a couple of weeks ago, it's only really last week was the first week where I had kind of eliminated my ham sandwiches, and that was done as an experiment, and it was like a test to see, A, did I like the bean burritos? And the answer is yes, I did. They were delicious. And B, would they fill me? And actually I find that they filled me just as much as the ham sandwiches did. Maybe they actually filled me more. I'm not 100% sure. I felt like during the week this week, I didn't feel as hungry during the day after my lunch as I had been feeling when I'd have ham. And it's very much just like both Elaine and I have been feeling for a while that just we're concerned about, animals and animal welfare. And it's for that reason that we're kind of reducing the amount of meat that we're eating. And it's just like, we don't like the idea of killing animals for food, really, a huge amount. And like, certainly that's how I feel about it, and like, I'm never ever going to tell anyone what they should or shouldn't do. This is just, it's a very personal choice for me and for us that we've decided to do this. But I know that I've been kind of talking a little bit about the food that I'm making on the channel, and I've just kind of been like making no secret about the fact that the meals that I've been showing you guys have been by and large vegetarian, but I haven't really explained why that is or why we're doing it, or to the extent that we're doing it. So that's basically it. I'm primarily vegetarian now, and so is Elaine, but that's not to say that we're gone completely vegetarian, and it's not to say that like we don't eat meat anymore, because we do, and there are certain things that we still eat. If we're out and about, we will still eat meat if we feel we have to, or like, for example, like if I go to somebody's house, I'm like, and if they ask me, I'll sort of say, yeah, I prefer to not eat meat, but if they serve me something with meat in it, I will just eat it. Like, I don't expect somebody to make something special or extra for me that they're not making for
the rest of the group, you know. And then if I'm in a restaurant or I'm out and about myself, I'm just gonna make the best effort that I can to have like a meat-free diet, or to just not eat meat. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at now, and with that in mind, I need to get cooking my dinners for next week. So all my meal prep is done for the week. I've got my tofu Thai red curries and I've got my black bean burritos. So 3 of the curries are for me for my late nights in work, and the 3 burritos are for me for my lunches on my long days in work. So I am looking forward to eating all of those, because I was tasting little bits as I went along and it's all just really, really nice. So yeah, I'm excited for all my food tomorrow. What I love about these recipes is that they're quite easy to make. It still takes me a little while to make the bean burritos, just because I'm not used to that yet, but I know that in a couple of weeks I will probably be able to make those in about 30 minutes from scratch. So that's exciting. And the Thai red curry takes maybe 45 minutes all in to do. So once I kind of get the hang of the burritos a bit more, I'm sure I can actually like cook the 2 fully simultaneously. I was trying to do that tonight, but I ended up focusing on the Thai red curry first and then the burrito afterwards, just because I just wasn't able to kind of get my head around doing it all together. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to eating these. They all look great. They all taste great from the little samples that I've had. I'm speaking really quietly now because Elena's upstairs and she's asleep. So I don't want to wake her. So that is kind of it for this evening. I'm just going to leave these to cool and then put them in the fridge. So while I'm doing that, I'm going to just take it easy, which means I'm going to leave this video here. So I hope you liked it. If you do, please give it a big thumbs up. Please subscribe, and I will see you guys next week.